Okay, we will continue our next section in cardiovascular pharmacology, and speaking about generic brand name, drug group, and pharmaceutical form and dosage. So the second topic, diuretics. So the first one was hypertension. So the second topic is diuretic. Okay, as you can see here, for the diuretic, we have a list of medication. Start with the brand name, generic name. Then we have the group of medication belong to which class. Then we have clinical uses, pharmaceutical form, and dosage. Okay, we'll start with the most popular medication. Then we go to the PDF file to review it together as entire pharmacological list of medication. We have furosemide here, as you can see. We have furosemide, brand name Lasix. Furosemide belong to the loop diuretic, work by inhibit sodium potassium chloride in the loop of Henle, uh, in the ascending loop of Henle. This medication used for treatment of edema in patients with heart failure, cirrhosis, nephrotics. So here we try to remind us edema could be related to the heart failure, hepatic disease, or kidney disease. So anyone suffer from edema, furosemide might be maybe a drug for treatment symptoms of edema. Okay, relief edema, but for example, we don't use furosemide to treat hepatic cirrhosis. We need to treat it like separately. Then we have hypertension, which means high blood pressure, pulmonary edema, then hypercalcemia, which mean with hypercalcemia mean increased level of calcium. So we can use furosemide for that. Furosemide available as a tablet solution and injectable with a different form of vial and ampule. Hydrochlorothiazide, brand name macrozide, belong to the thiazide diuretic, and this medication work by inhibit sodium chloride co-transporter, N for sodium, C for chloride, and another C for co-transporter in the distal convoluted tubule. Hydrochlorothiazide you consider like first medication, first drug, first line treatment for hypertension according to the new guidelines. Furosemide could be used for treatment of edema if the patient suffer from diabetes insipidus, and this one work by paradoxic mechanism. This medication could be a possible treatment for patients suffer from calcium kidney stone, for patients suffer from nephrolithiasis, in other terminology. Hydrochlorothiazide available as tablet capsule with a two different maybe dosage. We have 12.5 milligram, we have 25, we have 50, and so on. So moving to the spironolactone generic name. Then we have aldactone brand name. Uh, the spironolactone generic, aldactone brand name. This medication belong to the potassium-sparing diuretic. How this medication work? By blocking aldosterone receptor, aldosterone antagonist. MR stand for mineral corticoid blockers. This medication, spironolactone, used for heart failure, and they found that this medication decreased mortality rate. Uh, we can use spironolactone for someone suffer from ascites. The spironolactone could be option for someone suffer from hyperaldosteronism, which means increased level of aldosterone in the blood. That could be related to the tumor or hypersecretion of the adrenal cortex. Use spironolactone for patients suffer from hypertension. Here we are talking about something called resistance hypertension. So if someone suffers from resistance hypertension, spironolactone will be the option. If someone suffers from hypokalemia, which means decreased level of potassium, spironolactone could be option on the table. They found spironolactone they used to treat hirsutism due to the anti-androgenergic, anti-androgen effect. The same apply for the acne. This is skin disease. Spironolactone available as tablet, 25, 50, 100 milligram, oral suspension, also 5 milligram per 5 milliliter. Eprinone belong to the same spironolactone. Eprinone, you can see the suffix Inspira and brand name Inspira and how this medication works. This medication is selective aldosterone antagonist, MR blocker. So as you can see here, this one, the spironolactone, is not a block aldosterone receptor, but not selective. It has anti-androgenic effect. Then we have eprinone, selective aldosterone antagonist receptor, MR. The eprinone is used in patients with a post myocardial infarction, heart failure, hypertension. Eprinone available as tablet, 25 and 50 milligram. Moving to the triametrin direnium, the triametrin direnium, this belong to the same group, potassium-sparing diuretic. However, this triametrin blocks sodium channel. So this medication blocking sodium channel in the collecting duct. Triametrin used for edema, hypertension, hypokalemia prevention, and could be combined with the thiazide. Triametrin available as capsule, 50 and 100 milligram. Continue with the diuretic. We have chlorthalidone, the thiazide-like diuretic, most popular medication in thiazide used for hypertension, preferred according to the guidelines, GNC 8 and American Heart Association. Could be used for patients with edema and nephrolithiasis, and we discussed that in previous slide. Available as tablet, 25, 50, 100 milligram. Bumetanide, Bumex, brand name Bumex, bumetanide, and considered like loop diuretic. This medication used for edema due to the heart failure, renal disease, or hepatic cirrhosis. Bumetanide could be used for patients from hypertension. I would like to emphasize you are dealing with patient, not with the disease. So when you have patients from hypertension, you have to decide, is this patient appropriate for this treatment or not? Is there any contraindication for that? Bumetanide available as tablet, injectable also, ampule or vial. Torsemide available as generic only, belong to the diuretic, loop diuretic. As you can see here, bumetanide, torsemide, furosemide, all these medication belong to the loop diuretic. Heart failure, this medication used for heart failure, edema, and hypertension, available as a tablet and available as injection here. Moving to the another group of medication. These two medication we don't use it for hypertension. It's not for hypertension, but this belong to the diuretic. So this medication, remember, acetazolamide, brand name Diamox, belong to the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. This medication used for patients from glaucoma, altitude sickness, seizure, metabolic alkalosis, and edema. Available as tablet and injectable. Mannitol belong to the osmitrol, osmotic diuretic. Mannitol, brand name osmitrol. Increase intracranial pressure. Used for increase intracranial pressure and intraocular pressure, and prevention of ARF. And mannitol considered like ARF stand for acute renal failure. Forced diuresis, enhanced diuresis. Mannitol available as injectable IV solution. Okay, this will finish the diuretic section, and we already spoke about several medication. So the next will be like a PDF file to show you all the medication belong to the diuretic. Okay, this PDF file represent the entire, the most popular medication belong to the diuretic, as you can see here. diuretic. We have thiazide diuretic. We have chlorothiazide. Uh, we have the brand name, generic name, chlorthalidone. We have hydrochlorothiazide, macrozide, capsule tablets, and dopamide, metalazone. So we already covered that in the presentation. Loop diuretic, bumetanide, ethacrynic acid, furosemide, torsemide. The purpose of this PDF to show you the entire medication in the clinical practice. So I will repeat: loop diuretics. We have bumetanide, ethacrynic acid, bumetanide bumex, ethacrynic acid, edecrin, furosemide Lasix, torsemide available as generic only. Potassium-sparing diuretic, we have amiloride, eplerenone, spironolactone, trimetrin. Then moving to the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, we have acetazolamide. Of course, we have more medication here. We have brinzolamide, for example. And the next or last group will be osmotic diuretic, mannitol, osmitrol. If you need more information, I recommend you to review the diuretic lecture on my YouTube channel.